We are just about 7 o'clock, so we can get started. I'd like to call the regular scheduled meeting for the Village of Tinley Park Plan Commission to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Lori, please take roll call.
Commissioner Gaskell. Commissioner Gatto.
Present.
Commissioner Hamilton. Commissioner Manny.
Present.
Commissioner Merrick.
Here.
Commissioner Martinez. Commissioner Sepisi.
Here.
Commissioner Stoklos.
Here.
Chairman Gray.
Okay, quorum is present. We will now move on to communications. Staff, are there any communications?
Just that Chairman Gray, in his absence, you will be serving as acting chair.
Perfect, thank you. We will now move on to the approval of the minutes. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from the September 19th, 2024 Plan Commission meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I hear Commissioner Manny, and a second was by Commissioner Stoklos. All those opposed? No?
All those in favor?
Oh,
All in favor, yeah.
all those in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? No. The motion carries. Okay. Item number 1 on the agenda is a public hearing to consider recommending that the village board grant Roberto Gutierrez, GK Development Properties LLC, a special use for final approval of planned unit development PUD and rezoning from office restricted industrial ORI zoning district to B3 general business and commercial zoning district for 48 acres of property located at 7600 191st Street, Tinley Park. Final plat and site plan and architectural will also be reviewed at the meeting. This meeting item was previously continued to this date. May I have a motion to continue the public hearing to November 21st, 2024?
Motion. Second.
Okay, I heard Commissioner Sepisi make a motion and seconded by Commissioner Stoklos. All those in favor to continue the public hearing, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? No. The motion is carried. Okay. Item number 2 on the agenda is a public hearing to consider recommending that the village board grant Jake Burnt a final plat of re-subdivision and dedication to subdivide a lot at 6513 Vogt Street into 2 separate lots within the B5 low-density residential zoning district. Staff, could you please proceed with your presentation at this time?
Thank you. No open public hearing is required, as this will be a public meeting as a by right subdivision. So the property, 6513 Vogt Street, is a corner lot. It's located in downtown Tinley on the west side of 65th Avenue. Vogt Street is, as many know, south of Oak Forest Avenue. So on the aerial up there, you can see the outline of the property. It's a large lot that currently is about 22,000 square feet. The northern 30 feet of this is actually within Vogt Street itself. So excluding that, the area is a little under 19,000 square feet. So this property is part of the old subdivision Vogt's Tinley Park Acres, and the existing conditions for it have an existing 1-story house as well as a covered enclosure and a shed. And at that property, there are no sidewalks. And as far as the zoning, it's within R5 low-density residential. And similarly to the south and east, and then to the north and west is R6. The petitioners provided a plat of survey that shows these conditions. Staff has noted in red what the yard determinations thus would be for this existing 1 lot. So the primary front yard is on a corner lot. It is the shorter of the 2 front yards. So that is currently along Vogt Street, with the secondary being along the 65th Avenue east side. And the two remaining south and west are side yards. So the request is for a final plat of re-subdivision with the dedication. That would be simply to split the one lot into two. Is a by right subdivision, no variations or relief from code is requested. The division would make lot 1 11,433 square feet, and lot 2 7,514 square feet. So that frontage along the 65th Avenue, that smaller lot would be 62 and a half feet, which meets the minimum lot frontage. So as noted, this is a by right subdivision. 30 feet would be dedicated to the right-of-way on Vogt Street, and the petitioner intentions are to keep the existing house and demolish the covered enclosure and shed. So these three structures are all currently non-conforming. The house that is on the property is more or less on the lot line, so it's less than half a foot from the west property line. So they intend to keep that, and they have signed an affidavit provided to staff here tonight that states they're aware that this is a legally non-conforming structure, and they will abide by our zoning code provisions, such as if the house were to be torn down, it would need to be rebuilt by right, conforming to code. As far as this new second lot, would be to develop it by right into what's allowed by our zoning code. So in the staff report that we published, it had two plats. So it was the plat of re-subdivision, a separate plat of dedication. Staff had just, in the meantime, from then until now, had asked for those to be simply combined into one plat, and a few minor corrections, such as adding a signature line for Plan Commission, etc. So there's been an updated plat that reflects those changes, dated today. Each of you have a copy. This is the first image here on the screen are the two plats that were provided with the staff report. And today we have the revised plat that is just one simple plat. And again, the minor corrections that staff had asked for have been incorporated. As far as what happens when this lot gets divided in this manner with these divisions, the zoning yard determinations do change a bit. So in the staff report, we included this diagram as well. That just shows that on the lot that will have the house, that has the existing house, that the primary and secondary front yards simply switch, and the west side becomes a rear yard. And then the southern lot would just be a conventional interior lot with two side yards, a front and a rear. The frontages, there's no issues with those, so 25 feet minimum is what our code requires for front yards, 30 feet for rear. And staff has put a couple conditions that I noted up here and in the staff report. So along with the standard final review is required by village engineer, we do have a condition that the enclosure and shed are to be removed within 30 days upon county recordation of the plat, and that the existing house will be legal nonconforming with this provision of the affidavit that the petitioners provided. And then lastly, that sidewalks to be installed along Vogt Street and 65th Avenue, with the sidewalk portion on Lot 2 to be required upon the development of Lot 2. And this is to help increase pedestrian mobility in our downtown. So that concludes my presentation. I have the petitioner, Jake Burnt, here, if there are any questions.
Thank you. Jake, do you wish to speak?
Yeah, the only question I really had were the,
Please feel free to step to the podium. So
Can you sign in there too?
no signature required,
Oh, okay.
as this is not a public hearing.
yeah, the only question I had were about the sidewalks. So what, I get for lot 2 upon the development. So for lot 1 though, like what is the time frame? Is like, I don't really know how the sidewalks work, because that's about 200 feet of sidewalk, you know, in a neighborhood that doesn't have any, so it's a lot of money. So I'm just curious, what are like the regulations for that?
So staff had, when we had corresponded before with proposed conditions, that was the provision within 30 days of recordation of the plat. So we can we can discuss with the commission.
Yeah, no, the 30
commission
days I
if-
saw for the shed, the 30 days for the sidewalk, I wasn't aware of that, though, because I don't see that up there.
So sidewalks will be required along Grove Street. Oh, I'm sorry, I made a correction, yes, so sidewalks will be required. So we can work with the commission on a proposed timeline for that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was really my only concern. Because I don't know if I'm gonna have the money to put that much sidewalk in within 30 days, that's for sure. But, no, that's really the only question I had. Everything else, yeah, I agree with. Everything looks good.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
So the commission, as we noted, the condition drafted, just simply to reiterate, simply says sidewalks will be required along Vote Street and 65th Street. No timeline has been identified for Lot 1, but we are requiring for Lot 2 that it be upon the development of Lot 2. Petitioners also noted that there are not currently many sidewalks that are in that downtown area, but we would like to see them.
All right, we'll start over here. Commissioner Merrick?
Yeah, I guess one of the questions, so I'm open to whatever timing makes sense, right? But I guess the question, one way to handle it, it struck me from reading this, you're gonna sell Lot 2 and develop it? You're gonna sell that?
Yeah, correct.
Maybe that, the condition could be that when you sell Lot 2, you can put sidewalks in on Lot 1,
From the property, yeah.
right? I mean, that might, like, within a certain period of time after the sale of Lot 2, that may solve that problem for you. But I don't really have other questions about the subdivision or the plat.
So perhaps the condition could be amended to strike the words "on Lot 2." So we could say sidewalks will be required along Vote Street and 65th Street. The sidewalks will be required upon development of Lot 2.
Yeah.
That could work.
I mean, Commissioner Randy?
No comments from me.
So I have a question. So let me get this right. So if someone purchases a piece of property, they have to pay for the sidewalks to be installed? Like, I'm confused by that. Because to me, I feel like it should be a split deal. The village owns the village owns that property. I don't own my sidewalks. So that to me is a little bit alarming to have a homeowner have to put sidewalks into a house that they've purchased, let's say 30 years ago. You know what I mean? I can't see having a resident having to pay the full amount. I feel like the village should have to cover a portion of that. Because when I bought my house, my sidewalks were put in already. I didn't cover any of that. They just came and redid all my sidewalks, and I didn't pay for any of it. So that's where I'm a little concerned. Like, I don't feel like as a homeowner, you should have to pay for all of that. The village should have to cover a cost of that.
Understood, but with a subdivision from creating more density into the lot, there's a change to the fabric of a community, and it has been the practice with the village in the past where when we've created new lots, we've
I
Ask
could
this
see
as a
for a
requirement.
commercial development, 100%. They have the money. But when we don't own the sidewalks. As a homeowner, I don't own the sidewalks that are in front of my home. Like, the village owns that. They maintain the park, the parkway on the back, you maintain the parkway, but then everything else, the trees, the sidewalks, I can't seal coat the sidewalks. I can't do any of that because I don't own that property. So that's a little bit, I feel like the village should have to cover a portion of that because he doesn't own that. I don't know. That's just my feeling.
Okay.
Because it's expensive. Concrete's expensive, So I don't know. That's where kind of I sit with that. I don't know. I feel like it should be a kind of a split deal.
Kind of that's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah.
It's a sidewalk that goes from nowhere to nowhere, so it's a lot of sidewalk in the
Correct.
neighborhood with no sidewalk.
And if we want to make the downtown area more walkable, I feel like we're putting these parameters on people. It's gonna benefit the village. It should be, a portion of it should be covered by the village, in my opinion. They do a 50-50 split or whatever they do, but I feel like a portion should be covered by the village. because he technically doesn't own that sidewalk. The village does. I don't know, that's my opinion. Commissioner Stefasi?
I see your point. And the only thing I would say about it, in this neighborhood, there aren't sidewalks. So I would be one that would say go with the flow. If there's already sidewalks there, yeah, he's gotta put them in. But if there's no sidewalks there already, putting one stretch of sidewalk in and leaving the rest on grass,
Is it gonna make a difference?
that,
Right,
yeah,
right,
I
I
don't
get
have a
it.
problem with that, but everything else is straightforward, Jack, it's fine. But sidewalk thing, I don't know, it's thought provoking.
Yeah. I just feel like it's an expensive ask of the homeowner. Commissioner Stefani?
The only comment I have is that if the village is gonna put sidewalks in, then it's a different story. But right now, there's no sidewalks, so forcing them to put sidewalks in is, ridiculous.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. At his expense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I have a question. Is there a current code that there should be sidewalks?
No, but this is a condition that staff has proposed in the past for re-subdivisions.
I'm asking just because.
Residential.
I mean, we know that when, there's another option too, which is that they could pay into the fund that would be used to build sidewalks. When it becomes more viable, that's done on occasion. I favor, I think everybody up here probably knows that I favor the building out of sidewalks in areas that we want more, to make more pedestrian friendly, so.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. I just feel
Yeah.
like I don't feel like he should have to absorb all of that cost. I feel like you said,
I hear you.
I just
You know.
don't think this sidewalk would be totally effective, it's only.
In that area.
One section,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But we could say the same thing about non-conforming fences, right?
Right.
If we don't start one place, you'll never get conforming to those pieces, right?
True story.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I just feel like there should be. I mean, because, and I get it, we just had a commercial property come last week, 2 weeks ago. And they have the funds to be able to do something like that. But a resident, I mean, I'd be honest, I know what concrete costs, so therefore, I don't know if they made that a condition, I don't know if I would break off the 2 properties and sell it. I'd keep it and sit on it the way it is. Like, I can't, that's my opinion, but, I don't know. But that's just my thoughts.
Well, we do have the motion up on the screen, and the commission may amend the motion if desired.
May I have a motion regarding the plat?
I'll make a motion to recommend approval to the petitioner, Jake Burnt, of final plat for Burnt's re-subdivision and dedication for the property located at 6513 Vogt Street in accordance with the final plat dated October 3rd, 2024, subject to the following conditions. Do we need to list the conditions, Laura?
I would recommend so in this case,
Okay.
yes.
The plat of re-subdivision and dedication is subject to final approval by the village engineer and the village attorney prior to recording. The covered enclosure and sheds shall be removed within 30 days upon county reiteration of the plat of re-subdivision. Sidewalks will be required along Vogt Street and 65th Street. That's Avenue, actually. The sidewalk on Lot 2 will be required upon development of Lot 2. The current principal structure on the property will be defined as a legally non-conforming structure upon subdivision of the current lot and will henceforth meet the standards set forth in Section 6 of the Tinley Park zoning ordinance, non-conforming structures. Now, having said all that, do we need to put a second in that before we discuss it?
Yes.
Can we get clarification about what the language was for
Number
part
3.
3? It sounded like it was sidewalks would be required along Vogt Street and 65th Street.
Avenue, sorry. Correction, it should be Avenue.
Vogt Street and 65th Ave?
Yes.
Okay. upon development of Lot 2. Was that how it was read? Okay.
Guess that's,
I'll second it.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Sepisi, seconded by Commissioner Merrick. Can we get a roll call, Lori?
Okay. Commissioner Manning,
Yes.
Commissioner Merrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Sepisi,
yes.
Commissioner Stucklos,
Yes.
Acting Chair Gatto.
Yes. Okay, the motion carries. This item will go to the village board on November 5th or 6th. The date is to be determined. Is there a reason why?
Yes, that's due to the
Oh,
election.
election.
So I spoke with our deputy clerk today. We
Perfect.
said at this point, it's one of the 2 dates.
Okay. Perfect. We will now move to receive public comment. Does anyone in the audience wish to speak? Seeing no one, we will proceed to the good of the order.
Okay. So not too much to say for good of the order. Village Board, we had Freight Bowl recently passed with them. And the fence variation that was at 6401 180th Avenue was denied. And then the only other thing would be in regards to our upcoming meetings for the comprehensive plan. So the next 2 meetings that we'll be having will be a joint meeting with the ECC Commission, and our next meeting at a regularly scheduled date of October 17th, and then the following one, November 7th. We'll be going over some goals that Village and Lakota Group have come up with. So there will be themes, goals, strategies, and those 2 meetings will be discussions. So we'll send that out with the packet, and any questions, please feel free to let us know.
That'll be a Calcin, right?
That be over there?
That's what we anticipate at this time, yeah.
Okay.
We'll let you know in the agenda or email.
Awesome.
Okay, we will now move to adjourn the meeting. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Made by Commissioner Manny, seconded by Commissioner Sepisi.
No, stop it.
Oh, Saklu, sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed? The motion is carried. The meeting is adjourned at 7:22.
Okay, great, thank you.
Record time.
Almost.